once you are aligning yourself with the path of becoming a Messiah, you have to actually start getting the talents and the attributes that make one person a Messiah. Being a Messiah is not to be of the light. It is to know of the battle between light and darkness, for what level of contrast should exist in the omni-verse. For you guys who do not know, there is a lot, and I guess most of you know, there are a lot of beings. We got Dark Lords, we got Omni-Lords, we got Illuminati, then we got Beings of the Light, we got the Archangels, we got Galactic Federation or something maybe. We got activist groups, we got all sorts of groups within this omniverse of worlds, which is basically how consciousness streams through the different stages of reality, which we are living in what we call life right here, but really it's streams of collective consciousness go through life and death, and they go through these different things like the fourth world, the fifth world, the first world, and each one is at different levels of density, and there's a whole extreme science behind this that kind of is too lucid for a very concrete human minds to fully grasp at this time. But one thing I would like to point out to you guys is that we are living in, quite possibly, unless the fifth world is not the first world, like many of us experiencing what is our understanding, then we are in the most dense cycle of reality. And being said, we have the most control on what the contrast between light and dark is within everything. And that is because the most densest element is the least malleable element. So when we solidify our position on how much light and how much darkness, because we do need them both, my friends, both of them are fully responsible for partaking in what is the creation of life, what is the preservation of life, and what is the destruction of life. And all of that is needed to partake in what is the evolution of life. Now, unfortunately, we have been masqueraded, we have been beaten upon by groups known as the Dark Lords, groups which are becoming known. We have the Illuminati, who was pretty much basically bowing to the Dark Lords to get their power. We have the Satanists, we have the Luciferians. We have these groups that are basically working to promote an excessive darkness in the world so that the light of consciousness can only go so far out in the average individual. Your job in becoming a Messiah is to find that perfect amount of balance between light and dark within yourself, internally. You got the channeling from Jesus. You can believe hella well he knows what it is to be a Messiah. And so that is your first job. Then what you go do is you start applying what you have found, going inside to obtain the most peace, to have the most motivational love, and to just balance those primal universal energies into one harmonious concentration that provokes the greatest evolution. And
Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramda. Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramde, Ramda, Ramde, Ramde, Ramda,
to just balance those primal universal energies into one harmonious concentration that provokes the greatest evolution. And then you'll get your activist on. You'll get your activist on. You will get to changing the world. Because you know what? Before, those of us who have elected ascension go on to ascend, we had a job we made contracts for. And that job was to basically save the earth. Because as much as these dark forces have fucked the earth up, they fucked it up to the point where they hoped, they could just keep squeezing in a little more darkness so they could be in their element, because they are devoted to, these secret groups are devoted to the Dark Lords. These are different dimensional, different world beings. They don't live in this reality. And these beings, they build darkness. And that wouldn't necessarily be bad if they had the mixed concentrations that we do to realize that in where it matters in the end, where things kind of concentrate, we need a harmonious balance of light and darkness that, maybe sometimes needs more light, maybe sometimes needs more darkness, but what we're doing now isn't working. So they're connecting to divine beings that build darkness on a world one level, basically near the God level, near the source level. And these beings are building darkness so that then, other dark bringers, other dark beings can build darkness when the world gets more intricate and more, atoms like together. Like you look out in space, that's huge. It's amazing. So much space. But really, this is all space, but the space is closer together, so you don't see the space. It's pretty, scientific. And so in the fractal holographic reality, we have a job to do, and it's saving the planet. And pretty much if you want to get up and step up to your job before you go into the next world where it will be defined more by the hierarchy of the higher selves, you better hope as hell to have done your job, because one, if you haven't, you will be in this world again. Don't worry, people who don't believe in ascension. This world will continue going on just as it always has. It always has. Different waves of consciousness come through it. The fourth world, what we are part of, has always gone on and always will. Where we are going will always go on and always will. How it goes on and how it will is what changes. And that's what this whole cycle of life and death is all about. And we don't want to get in there with Dark Lords running that place, honestly. And it's, you know, that's with two fates. You don't go, or you go with Dark Lords running it. So get to the class. Let's learn some holy MacGyver stuff, alright? Seriously, I want to see you there. It's tomorrow night. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm putting the sign up information down there, and we're gonna do some amazing stuff. Everybody's gonna get so happy and feel so good, and then you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna drop some bombs on you. So one love to the Messiah in you, the God in you, and the all and everything. Namaste, brothers, and see you there. Seriously, I'll like astral slap you, really. Ciao.